Hall of Guardians, Hall of Champions, however you want to say it. This has been a fantastic game for the last 3 years. Started out playing this in the alpha on the PS4. I played both betas on both consoles, and I've been playing since day one on the Xbox One. With Destiny 2 less than 2 weeks away, I wanted to put a little clip together and just kind of celebrate what the last 3 years has been. It's been a fantastic journey. You know, the game has made an impact not just on my life as a gamer, but my life outside of gaming and the friends that I've made, some of the friends that I've lost. It's all had an impact. I got the tricorn tattooed on my top of my right hand. I did cosplay as a warlock for a Comic-Con. It's been a fantastic experience, and I want to remember some of that as we approach Destiny 2. What better way to celebrate the end of Destiny than to celebrate the start of Destiny? First time you see your little ghost buddy comes up, hey, eyes up, Guardian. You see all the rusted cars and what's left of humanity, and it makes you want to explore, makes you want to check this world out and see what's going on. But you hear something screaming at you in the background, and the Fallen you haven't even met yet, they're coming after you, so you got to take off. And you hit this building and you're wanting to go slow because you're wanting to check your corners, you want to see everything that's around you, because you know the next 100 times you come through here you're just going to fly through it. But that first time, it's fantastic. The sound, the ambience, the lighting, the way you don't know what's ahead of you. When you get up here, something creeps down the wall, it grabs your attention and you want to know more. And you get into this room and you see the expanse of this place and you're like, what else is in store? Now, you know, once you hit this room, you've leveled up once or twice. You've gotten your grenade ability, and you're starting to run into enemies, and, you know, your blood's pumping. That first time playing through, like I said, it was fantastic. And 3 years later, this still lives with me. That first time playing through this, it's like I can just remember all of it, and just what a thrill it was. You know, when you get in here to this room, you're taking out some of the Fallen, you don't know what's about to happen, and then all of a sudden you got some four-armed dude coming out of the wall at you, and you're like, this is the first boss? You know, if only you knew what was about to come after that. But then you get him taken care of, and you look up and you get to fly. You know, actually getting out into the open world part and getting to see these environments, they're just beyond impressive. And 3 years later, I can still hop on a Sparrow, come out here, do a couple patrols, and just thoroughly enjoy myself. And, you know, at the very beginning when we first started playing, it was like everything was new every time, and trying to find the little secrets and the hidden stuff, and just the beauty that lied in the backdrop if you would just take the time to look around and not rush so much. And it was, again, fantastic. Keep talking about first times, but that first time you got to fight the Devil Walker, and what an awesome fight that was, and how you bragged to your friends about how you took it down and just how epic of an experience that was. And yeah, later on it became nothing compared to the stuff you do, but that first time. And then we made it to the moon, and it was just an awesome sight to look out, see the earth, see the way they designed the environments, and it was relaxing, the dark tones, and man, I loved it. But this Guardian, anybody who's ever done any farming on Destiny, you know this guy. We've woken the hive, the words of living infamy, and we spent plenty of time waking them up. But that door right there, you know, once you get underground, it's something different in this place, and it was great. And then we're doing patrols, like, what is that hole in the ground? And, well, we found out later. And then the long walk on the Abomination strike. You hear that growl, and you're just like wondering what is going to happen down here. And that first time, I just can't stress that enough, has lived on for I think what Venus really showed us was the diversity that Bungie really put into the different worlds. Each one looked so unique and different, and the lush vegetation and the brighter colors. It was such a contrast to the dark and foreboding moon that we were just on. And, you know, we get to see what the Vex are, and they're battling with the Fallen. And even there was no time to explain, while there was no time to explain, once you got to the Vault of Glass, you needed some explanation. It was crazy. I can't tell you how many times that this area is what stuck us on a raid when we first started doing it. This is what made me understand the word wipe, and that was a new word in my vocabulary, but it was great. And then going from Venus to Mars, going from the vegetation to the desolate red sands, and the story of everything buried beneath the sands. You've got Cabal, you've got Vex, you've got everybody fighting here on the planet, and while we're doing our stuff in between. The Great Strike, Val's Tarok, or however you say it, and you know, that experience of learning the strategy to take him down, and the Black Garden, everything else that came with it. It was awesome. And then the Dark Below came, and we found out what the hole was. You know, the first time, I know I keep saying that, but so much about this game was about the first time you did something. The first time that we came in here to do this raid, and we're all standing there, we're watching the bridge form, and it's like, are we going down there? Is that, you know, what's up, you know? And I'm one of the people, I don't like watching videos on stuff first. I like jumping in and trying it out and experiencing it firsthand before I see somebody else do it. And so this was all new. Like, I hadn't seen anything, and I'm just freaking out. I'm like, this is about to be awesome. And it was, all the different stages and having to work together. And you know, later on, yeah, you could solo the lamps, you could almost get across the bridge without nothing, and you know, whatever. But that first time, it was a fantastic experience. No, then the House of Wolves hit. You got to see the reef, and this is one area that I really wish we would have got to see more about, or been able to have an actual area that we could go explore, whether it was a derelict station or a ship or something. I thought it was a gorgeous area, and I thought that the Awoken were very interesting people, and I wish there would have been more to that side of the story. But it really caught my attention. Like, one question that I've always had is, what is behind that door? I kept waiting for there to be some kind of DLC to open it up, and it never opened it up. But such a great place to try out. And you know, it didn't bring a raid to us this time, but we did get the House of Wolves, and we got this guy. You know, everybody loves Varix. He was a cool father, and you got to hang out with, and he gave you free stuff every week. So you know, for that, we salute him. And then the Prison of Elders. Couldn't stand Skolas, but it was fun to jump in here. It was something you could do quick. You didn't have to have 5 hours to do it, and for that, it was a lot of fun. So the Taken King expansion. So the Taken King expansion did a lot right. It made the game a lot better as far as grindiness and what you had to do to progress in the game. I'll give it that. Great environment, really different, lots of hidden areas, secret bridges and chests, and it was great. But this raid, I am done with it. This is what made me stop playing Destiny for about 8 months. The group I was playing with, we got at each other's throats, and you know, I played with my kid, and one of the guys got really shitty towards him, and I said, you know what, I'm done. And I took about an 8-month break from Destiny after this came out, and like I said, it's a great game, good experiences and bad experiences. So the Rise of Iron, with the lead up to it, I did get back playing Destiny, and not with everyone I had previously been playing with, but I really enjoyed the expansion. I was hoping for a new enemy, not just a redressed Fallen, but the way they did Siva and the way they did the Splicers, and it just worked, and it made for a really solid story. It was a lot of fun. The raid was a lot of fun. It wasn't one of these stressful, you know, fight with your friends type of raids. It was just fun, and I appreciate them doing that. And then the whole Iron Lord story, they did a really phenomenal job on that. I thought it was a great closeout to Destiny. It was a story that brought history and meaning to the game, and you got to learn about Saladin and all these people that, you know, you had these guns named after for 3 years now, and you're starting to learn more about who they are. And the trip back to the Vault of Glass was probably my favorite mission in the entire game. But what really stuck out to me at this social area was how it wasn't just banners hanging up everywhere. You know, there are these actual statues that really symbolize the past of what Guardians were before, and it was a really solid expansion, and I appreciate Bungie putting the time into this one. You know, seeing these names popping up, that's something I hadn't even talked about that I really enjoyed about Destiny. It didn't matter where you were, you could run into somebody. It didn't matter, you know, what you were doing. You know, you could see somebody and just start helping them out. Next thing you know, you guys are raiding together, strikes, you know, every week, and you make friends that you play with for a long time. And there's not a lot of games that you do that in. it's a great social game, but it's also a fantastic game to play solo, which I did do a lot of the time. But great. And then, as great as the story and the PvE was in Destiny, you know, the Crucible wasn't half bad itself. There were many times that I would just jump on and play Crucible, bounties or whatever. What surprised me about it was any game I'd ever played in the past, after 6 months, a year, whatever, I'm done. I'm moved on. And this game, it's 3 years later, and I'm still enjoying myself. I'm still loading up Crucible matches and playing. And it's a blast. And I hate that the new one's only going to be 4v4. There was nothing like leaving a raid and all 6 of y'all jumping into a Crucible match together. But, you know, we'll see. I'm going to give it a chance. And, you know, Iron Banner, that was what I looked forward to in the Crucible. From what it was when it first started to what it was when, you know, the last one hit a week or two ago, it changed significantly, but it was a blast, and I'm going to miss it. The Cryptarch. What story about a 3-year journey with Destiny would be complete without talking about him and the way he used to do us? But anyway, Destiny made me a hoarder, as you can see by all my original vanilla Destiny gear that I've still got sitting in my vault. Can't get rid of it. Worked too hard to get this stuff, and it's all memories right there. You know, I mean, it's crazy. That zombie apocalypse, that thing used to wreck in the Crucible. Galleon's Demise, you know, Jolder's Hammer, Murmur, Light Beware. These were all guns that were just awesome, and then they became nothing. That Necrochasm, the work and time that went into getting that thing. Vision of Confluence, that was the only gun I carried for a while. You know, the Stranger's Rifle that you get for completing the story. It's useless, but I have to keep it. And I mean, there's so much gear that's like that. You know, it's the gear to check that out. Queen's Guard hood from the Queen actually came to the tower at the beginning of the game. You know, all that original raid gear stuff. And you know, I put it on. I'm not going to be able to go kill anything, but I earned it, and I want to keep it. And that's one of the things I hate about Destiny 2 is that none of that matters, and none of that's going to carry over. You know, I wouldn't care if it was, okay, put on one set of gear and that's what you're going to get to carry over. I'd have been happy with that, but not being able to take anything, it kind of stings a little bit, you know, for those of us that have got as much time into this as we do, that does hurt. And I understand the plot and all that, whatever, but it sucks. There's no other way to put it. I mean, you can see even all my inventory slots are full. Every time I play, I'm having to arrange and delete, and I got a Titan and a Hunter that are maxed out also. I mained my Warlock, but that grind and getting the gear was worth it. So at the end of the day, as I sit back and I really think about the last 3 years playing Destiny, it means so much more than being just a video game. It's maybe friends outside of the game. People see my tattoo, we get to talking, next thing you know, we're playing online. You know, I made friends, you know, on Twitter because of it. You know, the cosplay was fantastic, and the amount of people coming up just wanting to take a picture with you because they knew you were from Destiny, and it's a great franchise that's provided just countless memories that I will always, you know, be thankful for. I absolutely love this game, and that's not to say it hasn't had its fair share of issues. You know, like I said, there's been times where I stepped away from it for months at a time because I didn't like where things were going, whether it was with the people I was playing with, or, you know, if it was something that Destiny, that Bungie did that just turned me off from the game. It has happened, but I'm never going to stop playing permanently. There's always something that's going to bring me back to this universe, and there's not much that can do that. You know, years ago playing Call of Duty, you play it for a year and you were done. You throw it away and get the next one, and you really never went back and played the other ones. And there's never been a game to keep me going for 3 solid years. The part that disappoints me is that when they first announced Destiny, they said it was going to be a 10-year journey. So it stings that it's not actually a 10-year journey. You know, the stuff that you worked your butt off for 3 years just really doesn't matter, and that does bother me. Dropping Crucible to 4 players, that bothers me as well. I'm going to give it a chance. But I do have high hopes. I'm really curious to see, after 3 years of learning, what Destiny can achieve on Destiny 2. And I'm excited to see the community grow even more. This has been by far one of the strongest communities I've ever been a part of. Now, one thing with that is I'm not a streamer. I'm not a content maker that you would normally see. And because of that, my voice is the smallest voice in the crowd. I hope that Bungie starts listening to all of its fans and not just the streamers and not just the people that are the face of it, but the millions of us who are like me, and we're 38 years old, married with 3 kids, sitting at home playing Destiny instead of other things. There's a strong voice out there that's not being heard, and I hope that the community managers wake up and listen to us. If they do that, then this game will do nothing but get better. And with that, I'm gonna leave y'all with a little dance off. This is from a long time ago with a bunch of guys that I played with back then, and the very last piece here, if you'll look up on the top right, that's from the beta. So what better way to end it than where it started? Bungie, I appreciate it. Keep up the awesome work. My name's Corey B. Chaotic. If you see me on Xbox, hit me up. I'm always down to do something.